Well, good morning. Y'all know what time it is? What time is it? It's Tax Tuesday. Good morning. This is K-Pal, your tax guru, coming to you with my Tuesday broadcast, bringing you the latest and greatest. Okay, hold on. We got a guest coming. I'm so excited. But before our guest come from SBA, share this. Let everybody know. Hey, this is the opportunity. If you have questions, if you are stuck in some process and you need some help, we have someone that will be able to give us updates and let us know what's going on. But I am excited. This is the last Tuesday of June. Can you believe that? July 1 is starting in the end of this week. For some people, this is a new fiscal year. But anyway, we are blessed. We are up today. So I'm excited. So I'm going to just give you a couple of little tax things before we bring on, because today is really Small Business Day. And we're going to be talking about small business. But I want to give you some tips or just some information. So IRS tax things. Advanced child tax payment scheduled to go out on July 15th. IRS has put 2 portals in their website where you can go at irs.gov and then look at advanced child tax payments. And in there's 2 portals. These portals are critical. There may be some of you that don't want the advanced child tax credit because you think you're not going to qualify. Maybe your children are going to be gone, or you just need that credit so you don't owe taxes. There is a button on IRS website where you can push and say, I don't want to belong, unenroll from advance. That way you unenroll and they won't send it to you and you don't need to worry about it. Then there is another button. Please spread the word. Please tell everybody we are a community. This is help that people need, another stimulus money. If you know people that are non-filers, didn't file taxes, and they need to let IRS know, I am here, send me some money. Share that with people. Share that with them. Tell them, hey, go on, and you can use your phone. These smartphones can do everything, but you could use your phone, go on irs.gov and go on advanced child tax credit and do the non-filers for those that didn't file tax. That is very important. That's critical. That's my tax things today that I want to talk to you about, because it's starting on July 15th. I'll be able to bring it up again next week, but there are many people that we want to take advantage. They need this help. They need money, and so we want to do it. So, anyway, thank you. So now I'm so excited, y'all. I don't want to take up a lot of time. Just please tell everybody, share everybody. Come on, y'all. Let's blow this thing up. But I'm so honored. We have a guest. Her name is Heather Luzzi. She works for the Sacramento SBA. She is one of the managers out there. She's fantastic. Great personality. Loves to help people. Okay, not the typical government worker. Yeah, you are. When I work for the government, I loved it too. But anyway, I just want to tell you guys that Heather is going to be on here. I'd like to introduce her. She's going to give an update on SBA things and then be available to answer questions. Now, come on, y'all. She ain't going to be on here all day. So without anything, I introduce Heather. Thank you, Heather.
Thanks so much, Pastor Kay. I really appreciate that. Great to be with you all. Thank you so much. As Kay stated, I am the District Director for the Sacramento District Office of the U.S. Small Business Administration. So, as you've probably known, we have provided the Paycheck Protection Programs, the Economic Injury Disaster Loans, the Shuttered Venue Operators Grant, the Restaurant Revitalization Fund, the Targeted Idle Advance, the Supplemental Idle Advance. Lots of programs that have come to fruition in the last 16 months. So, we're doing all we can to support these small businesses. We realize that they are the lifeblood of the economy. And it just breaks my heart when you drive down the street and you see going out of business signs. It's horrible. So if there's any way that we can help, we certainly want to. Because these are federal programs, though, we have to abide by federal law and statute. So there's some kind of parameters that we have to play within. What we can do, however, is to try to guide you in the right direction. We can try to assist you with filling out the paperwork. We have, of course, the assistance of the Black Small Business Association, as well as our resource partner network. And that would be our small business development centers, our women's business centers, our veterans business outreach center, and our SCORE mentors and volunteers. So there's plenty of help out there. What I will say is that these are all services that are prepaid by your tax dollars. Use them, take advantage of them. You're already paying for them. It's really incumbent upon you as a small business or someone that is considering getting into the entrepreneurship to educate yourself on the different programs, on the things that are available and not available. And of course, you want to do it the right way. We actually have a great partnership with the IRS, and we talk to our IRS liaison very often. She keeps us apprised of a lot of the updates, and we can always send you to her. We can actually get her to come on here for our Tax Tuesdays. That actually is a great idea. So I'm going to make an introduction, Pastor K.
Okay.
In any case, here to answer any questions that you may have. Before we get into the questions section, and I know that that's going to kind of be the majority of this segment, I want to give you an update with respect to the Paycheck Protection Program. Now, the Paycheck Protection Program, round 2, actually closed, and it has exhausted funds. So what that means is that anybody that has already received the Paycheck Protection Program, either round 1 or round 2, should start applying for that forgiveness if you haven't already. There was a huge backlog from the forgiveness applications up until recently. We're still almost caught up on all of those, but it's happening much faster than it did previously. So those of you that were kind of stuck in limbo for a little while, I sincerely apologize. We are a very small agency, and to deal with the volume that we had has been a challenge all the way around. And, you know, our employees are absolutely in your corner, and we want to help you. We want to get those loans forgiven, but we have to do it through the lending institutions. So the lender actually applies for the forgiveness through SBA on your behalf. We then will work with that lender if there's any documentation that perhaps we don't understand or that's missing, and try to get a complete package together and then make the decision. And basically work either concurring with the lender's decision, or we're asking them for additional documentation. If your lender has stated that they don't want to forgive a portion of your loan, you need to ask those questions. Why not? Did you comply with the parameters of the program? Can you supply the documentation to show that you that you complied with that program? If you're able to provide that information to the lender and you're still coming up with some challenges, please reach out to us. We're happy to assist you. We don't, we're not proactive in this stance because the lending institution is actually the one that gets the guarantee from SBA, not the borrower. So if you think of it as the lender is kind of our customer, and then the PPP recipients are the lender's customer. So again, if you have challenges, we're happy to look at those. You know, again, PPP has ended. Forgiveness is still running through. You can apply for forgiveness up to 5 years after you obtain the PPP loan, but we would really encourage you to do so as soon as you're able to. There's no sense in accruing that interest. You know, it's only 1%, but still 0 is much better. So if you're able to apply for the forgiveness, please do so.
So Heather, we have a question. There was a question by one of the Facebook people, and it says,
Sure.
Is it now open, the forgiveness?
Absolutely, yes. As a matter of fact, We've been accepting the forgiveness applications since August 8th of last year.
So what I have found in my experience is not all the banks or lenders have opened it.
You're absolutely right.
But SBA is open.
Correct.
But, they have to still go through the lender.
Exactly. But that's a great point, Pastor K, because again, the lender is who the applicant has to deal with. And some lenders were still trying to provide new PPP loans, and they weren't accepting those forgiveness applications.
Okay.
At this point, I believe all lenders are accepting those forgiveness applications. And again, deal with your lender the best that you can. If you have challenges, reach out. We're happy to help.
Okay, that's good information. My phone comes in, it closes me out. Can you still hear me?
I can hear you now, yes.
Okay. There were some questions on some people that had applied for the restaurant revitalization.
Mm-hmm.
Where am I? I don't see myself. Fund. And they had gotten the PPP the first round. So it showed them they qualified. But then the second round came through. So now the restaurant revitalization says they don't qualify. So is there a cross-reference that you can't get both?
Yeah, so you couldn't get both at a specific time. If you got the round 1 PPP and round 2 PPP and then applied for the restaurant revitalization fund, you were okay, but you couldn't have competing applications. It couldn't occur at the same time. So,
Okay.
and then this actually brings up a good point as well. The restaurant revitalization fund, Congress allocated $28.9 billion to this. It was an oversubscribed program. The amount of applications that we received within the first 48 hours could have exhausted those funds. There was a priority period that was set for women business owners, veteran business owners, and minority business owners.
Yes.
Those folks were supposed to be processed and funded first. Well, there was some challenges with that priority period. Pardon me. The agency then moved on to doing the other applications within the queue, but the funds at this point have been exhausted. Wow. We have circled back around with Congress. There's a lot of congressional leaders that understand that there's more funding that's needed for this program. But since it hasn't occurred yet, we're in a limbo state. If you applied and there was no funding left, please bear with us. We're hopeful that our congressional leaders will come to the table with additional funding. If you are in that bucket or in a bucket to where you were approved and unfortunately we could not fund the loan, please reach out to your congressman. Let them know how important this funding is for you. Keeping in mind that it's up to Congress to allocate these funds, not the U.S. Small Business Administration. We administer the program, not the funding. So, yeah, definitely we know that restaurants suffered over the last 16 months, probably the hardest. Restaurants and hospitality industry.
Yes.
It's definitely been a challenge.
I was shocked to hear from you that you guys really are small and you have such large responsibility. I thought you were big like IRS and that you had thousands and thousands of workers. So that even more gives me compassion and empathy for your guys' ability to get this work done.
You know, Pastor Kay, that's a great point too. So at the start of the pandemic, we were actually an agency of just 2,000 people, right around 2,000. We quickly pivoted and brought on contract and temporary employees and got the agency up to 9,000 employees to deploy these programs. So huge growth for the agency at the same time as trying to help these small businesses. Yeah. We're now, until again, we get, more funding for personnel, we have reduced those numbers. We still have some of our temps available, but their contracts expire on September 30th. So again, we're very hopeful that that our congressional leaders will reallocate the funding for us to continue to serve the small businesses that so desperately need it.
Well, hey, you guys, listeners, y'all write out. You guys send something to the Congress. People say, SBA, they need their staff. Come on, you guys, write out to them. Okay, so here's another thing that's going on. These hot topics, the EIDL targeted advance grant. Okay, so I'm hearing all these rumors. One of them is that the head of your department, let's see, Austin or something, that he said that this is what I heard, that he said yesterday or a couple of days ago that the $10,000 targeted advance is going to be opened up to all businesses, not just limited to the low income area. And then I also wanted to ask you, is there a priority 1 and a priority 2 in approving these targeted advance grants?
So again, Pastor Kay, that's a great question. So there is discussion about opening up the targeted EIDL advance to the masses. At this particular point in time, it is based on geography. So we've actually on sba.gov have a tool for the targeted advance. What you do is type in your address and it will tell you whether you qualify for that targeted advance. It is based on, again, your address, census documentation, and again, kind of the geography where you're located. It could be that one business across the street qualifies, perhaps your business doesn't. So in an effort to even the playing field, again, the agency is looking to open that back up. But because we do not have any procedures around that, it's not something that I could advise on at this particular point in time. I can tell you that there's not necessarily a round 1 or round 2 or anything like that. I say go on our website, type in your address to that tool under the targeted EIDL advance. If you are in that area, absolutely apply.
What is the approval timeline? What is the approval timeline?
Again, another really good question. We're in the process of kind of shifting our workloads. As the EIDL program, the Office of Disaster Assistance had actually deployed that program. And if you look at what's going on now in the country, we've got flooding, we've got hurricanes, we've got tornadoes, we've got a building collapse in Florida, which just horrific circumstances. So they actually need to focus on what they do best, which is help during times of disasters. Our Office of Capital Access, which is kind of the ones that govern our flagship programs, our 7A and our 504 programs, we're in the process of shifting that EIDL workload to them so that we can run that through much faster, much more seamlessly, and in an automated fashion. Some of you, I think, well, I'm sure many of you that are listening today have been frustrated if you've applied for some of our programs and we're waiting on the IRS transcripts. It's been a huge backlog with IRS through no fault of their own. It's just the amount of volume. We've never seen this before. So with that said, we are building a system to be able to gain access to those transcripts electronically almost instantaneously. So we're hopeful that that will be done in the next couple of weeks, and we're going to clear out those queues for those businesses that are waiting on that 4506T, the request for IRS transcripts.
So we have a number of questions. One is, I completed all my EIDL increased paperwork on 4/24, but haven't heard anything. My account says modification still being processed. How long does it take? So there's a number of questions, but that's the first question that, well, that's the question I see right now. So this is the person for the EIDL increase put in for April 24th and haven't heard anything.
Right. So here we are on June 29th. And yeah, 2 months later is very disappointing. And we recognize that. Again, the IRS is so backlogged in processing these 4506Ts that now we are looking for an additional option. And that's what I'm talking about with building that system to communicate instantaneously or almost instantaneously. So please, I'm sorry that it's taken this long, but please be patient. We will get those processed.
Okay, so I'm going to back up real quick. There were some other questions, but this one is one that I've experienced and I've got a lot of calls from, and it's working out now. But there's still some clients that have signed their loan docs for the second round of the PPP or the first round, whatever. And they said, and the question is, are there any reservation numbers that have not been funded?
So again, if the lending institution sent the documentation to the applicant and stated they were approved, at that point, that lending institution should have secured the PPP loan number required from SBA. Okay. You would need to reach out to that lending institution, keeping in mind that tomorrow, the 30th, is the last day that those can actually fund, that the funds can go out on those. We stopped taking the applications in May, and there was the lenders were allowed kind of that 30-day time frame to get those loans processed. So please reach out to your lender right now. Absolutely right now.
There's some lenders though that are hard to reach out to, like Walkley. They don't have nobody.
Right.
You know, Blue somebody, they don't have anybody. So I do have like a couple clients that it says it's funded. All of them have gone through. I just got one left. Oh, just one of them I'm trying to push through. And what they're saying is that everything's done, but we don't know if it's a bank or whatever. So I just told them they send to like monthly support or whatever. But it's very frustrating because they don't have any live people that you can call. Like you can't call customer service.
So that's a great point as well. And what's so unfortunate about this is that like Womply, and I believe you stated Blue Vine, those entities are not lending institutions. They are essentially a middleman or a packager, a broker, so to speak.
Oh, yeah.
They then deal with the lending institution. So if you're not aware of who that lending institution is, it's extremely frustrating because you're right. We hear this complaint all the time. I will absolutely see if we can find a contact for Womply and Blue Vine, and I will send that over to you. So maybe you can disseminate that to the audience.
Okay, that's great. I really would appreciate that.
Certainly.
There's a one that says, can we send the IRS transcripts that we get through our online account?
So that's a great question. And we've unfortunately, the short answer is no. And the reason that the short answer is no is because there has been such rampant fraud in the program. And, you know, we launched the programs within a 6-day time frame of the pandemic being announced, if you will, from the time that Congress allocated those funds from the pandemic is what I should say. That being said, we did not have a lot of measures in place or a lot of safeguards. We were concentrating on lending those funds and getting the money out quickly. There have been several cases of fraud, and our Inspector General has recommended that we not fund any loans until we, as SBA, receive those transcripts. So we actually had a congressional member here in Northern California who was extremely disappointed that we would not accept the tax transcripts from their office either. So you're not alone. We just have to be very conscious because these are tax dollars and we have to be good stewards of tax dollars. Again, this queue will be cleared in the next couple of weeks, and please just be patient. Stay with us on this.
So I really get that, and I really appreciate that you're going to build your own direct from IRS. So Merle Dillingham has a question. She says, the name of the bank on the document we signed. It may be Merle for the PPP, but I do know if you go back into your portal, it shows who funded. Like Wampley, it'll have a name of somebody that actually funded the amount on there. So if it's not on your documents, you can find it in your portal. I saw it in there. There was a couple other questions. I don't remember what they were. Is there any way, Selena, I can't see my list of questions, but there were a couple more questions. While they're asking the questions, they see if I have anything else. We talked about the idle increase.
I put all the questions up.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
You can stay on there. We can see your beautiful face, Selena.
Good morning.
Hey, I want to also mention that, although the Paycheck Protection Program, or PPP, has ended, the Economic Injury Disaster Loan is still available. We are accepting applications through December 31st. So if you are hesitant to apply, please consider applying. It is a great program. The loan itself is amortized for a 30-year term. The interest rate is set at 3.75% for profit entities and 2.75% for nonprofit entities. It can help you to recoup some of the lost revenue while also assisting moving forward. The funds can be used for a menagerie of different items. You cannot pay off debt. You cannot refinance debt, but you could certainly make those payments on any debt that has been incurred. You can also use those funds to expand, say, your outdoor seating or something along those lines to adhere to, your locality's social distancing guidelines. So really a great program that you should seriously consider applying for if you have not already.
Okay, so I have a question, but before that, there's a question on the thing. A lot of businesses are getting denied for the EIDL for not having the 4506T. How will the process for reconsideration change?
So again, the 4506T has to be fully executed, meaning signature, the exact title and name of the business, how it's shown on the tax returns, whether you file a 1040 or an 1120, however your business does their taxes has to be how that's filled out. If there's any discrepancy on that, it will be rejected. So just use your tax returns as a guideline when you're completing that 4506T. Send that along with your request for reconsideration or for an increase, because if you recall, we capped those loans at $150,000. We now have gone up to $500,000 for those transactions. So if you need an increase, please do so.
Can you use your 2020 for an increase, or you have to use like the 2019?
No, I mean, if you've got 2020 taxes, absolutely. If you've already filed, by all means, because the way that the 4506T works is that it's going to request up to 3 years taxes. So you can write down on the bottom where it's asking for the years, 2020, 2019, 2018. Perfect.
Okay. Oh, that's excellent. I heard, and I know this, that they're pulling the credit score. So if somebody has a bad credit score, they could be denied. And are they pulling it a second time? Like if you got approved for EIDL the first time, and now you ask for an increase, are they pulling for a second credit score?
Again, another really good question. My understanding is yes, they are re-pulling that credit. That second credit should be a soft hit on the credit score, so it shouldn't affect the score. That being said, there is a very liberal credit score guideline. I'm not at liberty to say it's not public information, but it's very liberal. Okay. If you have the opportunity to go in and work on your credit, please do so. I know that you may see, the big cow commercials with, what's his name, John Cena, the
Yeah.
Experian Boost. So if you're able to do that, by all means, please do that. I believe that that is free of charge. The other thing is to go to annualcreditreports.com. Again, a free service. You can pull from all 3 repositories, and you can actually have the ability to check your score. Definitely keep an eye on your credit. There's a lot of errors that happen on credit reports, and those will lower your scores. The other thing is that we hear people talk about, free credit reports, freecreditreport.com. It's not free. Annualcreditreports.com is free, and you can obtain all 3 repositories through that mechanism.
Okay, great. So Ray Kemp said that when his 4506, he didn't hit the submit for processing. So that's why his didn't go through. And so
Okay.
he is recommending people to hit submit for processing. So I have this question.
Sure.
If you are a sole proprietor, but you file your taxes
Mhm.
as a joint, do you need to put both people on the 4506T?
So again, another great question. Yes, if it's a joint tax return filed with a spouse, even if it's your sole proprietor and you are the only one named on that Schedule C, it needs to be completed with both applicants, because the front page of the IRS 1040s have to match that 4506T.
Okay, that's
So another great question.
Okay, great. Well, we are coming to the end. If you guys have any questions, you better shoot, because Heather has other work to do. As you see, they're understaffed and she has plenty to do. But her contact information is on the screen there. Heather, you were fantastic. Hopefully we'll have you on again another time.
That would be terrific.
And I appreciate it. And I do want to know who the IRS liaison is, so we can have that person on here.
Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. Her name is Cristela Sanchez, and I will send you her contact information.
Okay, that would be great, because we want to have, our thing is we want to hear from the horse's mouth.
Of course.
It's easier to talk to you than for me to be guessing on things. So, well, I appreciate you. You did a fantastic job. Thank you so much for coming. If you can send me any, if I need you, I'll let you know. I am going to contact you about that person with that child support thing. And
Excellent.
You have a beautiful day. You don't look overworked. Come on, you look fresh. Are you sure?
Oh, makeup does wonders,
Yeah, so I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And I hope to see you again.
Thank you so much, Pastor Kay. I appreciate the opportunity.
All right.
Take care, everybody.
Bye-bye. So you guys don't hang up yet. I just have a quick thing. There was someone that said that, and I did receive that the credit score for the increase, the 570, you're welcome. 570 is the score they're looking for. Anything, yeah, that's what they use. And that's what I understand, Carl. So thank you. We're in agreement with that. So if you don't have a 570, you need to work on that. Thank you, Luana. Thank you, everybody, for watching. There was a lot of stuff. The Golden State stimulus is going out, and a lot of people are looking for it, but they are sending out the Golden State stimulus. They said you have to qualify for the EITL, the economic individual tax thing to qualify for that. So EITC, thank you very much. And you have to file your 2020 taxes. It's coming in the mail to most people instead of in their account. And I think it's because it's disconnected from the IRS part when you have it. So anyway, look out for it. I'll try to bring some more information next Tuesday in regards to what's going on, but it's 600 or 1200. So that's the other hot button right there, is the Golden State stimulus. I'm very excited. I do have a new guest that's going to be on here next week. And let's see who it is. Oh, it's Bonnie Loves Travel. Benita Stewart, she's going to be on here next week. I'm going to be having a small business representative every week for the next throughout the summer. So the Golden State stimulus, that's where California is giving out a stimulus to the low income. So if you make under like 75,000 and or qualify for the the California, okay, the next question is the California relief grant. It's closed. So people that are getting it, they were already in the process, but no new people can apply. The window's closed. They are still administering and giving out the California relief grant to some people that, they're still in the process, but there is no new open window for that right now. So as I said, and so, here I am moving from one another. So Merle, I hope I answered your question about the Golden State stimulus. That's a California. Oh, okay, great. That's the California stimulus for low income that's coming out. And there is a bill to try to do it again, to give a first and a second. But right now, only the first is approved. So Bridget Marie Smalls, you said you was going to be on my show. The deal lady, I need you to contact me, email me, inbox me something so that I can have you on here. But my next guest is going to be Bonnie Bonita. Bonnie Loves Travel. And then also on July 13th is going to be Sylvania Moore, who is my digital marketer. And then on July 20th is going to be Nikita Price, who has a gun thing on how to do guns, how to shoot them, and how to register them and everything. So I'm real excited. I have some great entrepreneurs that'll be coming up, and I'll have some more for you. So God bless you. You have a great day. Thank you for tuning in to Tuesday, Tax Tuesday. Selena, I love you, baby. Show your face. Tell the people so they can see this gorgeous BSBA Selena. What's up, girl? How you doing,
Bye.
my love? Mwah, mwah,
Good.
mwah.
Awesome show. Awesome
Thank you.
information. Heather's a rock star.
Yes, she is. So thank you. Bye-bye, everybody.